Welcome to a very special edition of the Neville Goddard podcast. This week, I'm going to be sharing with you people that have really had massive impact in my life. And today we're going to dive into Dan Kennedy, the magnetic marketing guy. This is the guy that got me to think totally different about my business, because he got me to realize business is about impact. I thought it was about struggle. I was struggling to get by just trying to put butts in seats. And Dan taught me something that totally changed the world. And Dan taught me something that is the reason why you hear the sound of my voice right now. So, Dan Kennedy, thank you. I appreciate it. And to you, the listener, thanks for listening. There's a lot of gold in these little tiny episodes. And thanks for caring. Thanks for sharing. See you inside the podcast. All right, so his name is Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy is one of those people that inspired me to the point where my entire life changed. I was at the Connellsville River Park trying to figure out how to make my business work. And I was listening to a little, I don't know if it was a cassette tape or a CD. This is the old days, gang, of this fella, Dan Kennedy. He is one of the kings of direct response marketing. And Dan's a pretty cool guy because of Dan, there's less pain and more smiles in the world. One of the things that he's known for is he helped dentists and chiropractors both actually make a decent living, because they were shit at marketing what they did. And the average dentist in the old days, the average chiropractor, they were starving. But meanwhile, there's less pain and more smiles in the world because of Dan's work. Also, because of Dan's work, I was listening to this CD of Dan's and he mentioned something. He says, look, for you guys that teach things, teach it once, record it, and then unleash it on the world. And I thought, holy God, that totally changes the way I look at business, because I was trying to rescue one starfish at a time. I was teaching classes in the backwoods of southwestern Pennsylvania. About once a month, I'd have 6 to 20 people show up. I had private lessons throughout the weeks. Occasionally, I'd go into the city of Pittsburgh and teach something, or go down to Austin, Texas. But I was struggling, gang. I was struggling because I was trying to get people to come to me. Here's the thing. What I learned from Dan was how to amplify my impact. What I'm doing here is amplifying impact. If you had to come to Australia, get on a plane, come here, pay me for 15 minutes a day to drink a cup of coffee. See, let's talk about Manifesting Mastery course for a second. Here's the secret. Ready? I designed a tiny little course that came from a fantasy. And the fantasy was this: if you got a visitor visa, you could stay in Australia for 90 days. Wouldn't that be cool? And you and I could share one cup of coffee a day for 90 days. It wouldn't put either of us out a whole bunch. And if we shared a cup of coffee every day for 90 days and I told you something and said, go do this, just do this tiny little exercise today, I'll see you tomorrow. And then on day 2, we got together for a cup of coffee. And I said, hey, here's this really cool idea. Here's this cool little exercise. Go do this. What if it took a total of 10, 15 minutes a day, total? That's ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, except you don't have to get on a plane, you don't have to fly to Australia, you don't have to rent an Airbnb. Right? You can do all that for $97. Right in the privacy of your own home, anywhere on the planet. See, that's the cool thing. Because of Dan Kennedy, I took an idea that would have been impossible to implement, because my Native American mentors, they taught me, oh, that coffee's good. My Native American mentors taught me, they said, how do you eat a buffalo? See, a buffalo is symbolic of wisdom. And I don't know. And they said, one bite at a time. A lot of people waste a lot of time doing a lot of things. So this Dan Kennedy guy, I'm listening to him at the river park. And he says, do it once, unleash it, sell it forever. And I found it to be the coolest thing, because not everybody wanted to come to Pennsylvania. Not everybody wants to come to Australia. Not everyone can. But everyone can go, wow, okay, got it. I got 10 minutes a day. I got $1 a day. No big deal. Next. See, it's when these realizations hit you that real change happens. When you really get you are the light of the world, you're the wisdom and the power of God, whenever you really get your awareness of being as God, how you are aware of anything determines how everything shows up in your life. Some people are aware that money is hard. Some people are aware that women are bitches and gold diggers. I just love people. I find both men and women are people. I do. And I love people. Can you tell? It takes me some days 15 minutes to get in and out of the pool because I end up talking with so many people. What I want you to do is to be blessed and be the blessing by living from your vision. And so this week we're going to put out these tiny little ones, people who inspired me, people who have benefited me, people who have just helped me change my world so I could be a blessing to you. And the first one of these is Dan Kennedy, the original magnetic marketing guy. And I just want to thank Dan for helping me change my mind. Literally, I want you to think about this. Dan changed my mind. His conviction in an idea, his conviction that marketing matters, that marketing makes a difference in the world, his conviction, his sharing that, literally because of him, there's less pain and more smiles in the world. The chiropractors and the dentists are actually doing all right, helping more people, making a decent living. Because of Dan's conviction, you're listening to the sound of my voice today. Because the whole idea of maximizing impact, that's big with what we do here. That's why we got short little podcasts. That's why we got cool little courses. That's why we do things quick, easy, fun. Have a lovely day. My name is Mr. 2020. If you got gold today, join us at ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Go there, read a whole bunch of the success stories. Imagine us sharing yours. Move to the end and join in. That's ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Have a great day. And Dan, in case you managed to listen to this, thanks, buddy. It was your conviction that this is possible that made it, I started surfing your wave. Have a great day. See ya.